Hello friend, it is early July. It is absolutely disgusting outside. We have had a heat wave for like the last 10 days and it's going to continue. So it's 7:30 in the morning. I'm gonna get out here before too much of the heat and the humidity sets in. It's already gross. But we're gonna see what the garden has to offer today. We're gonna get some harvesting done. First on the list is taking care of this celery patch. I have this, it's about a 3x3 space of celery. It has been ready for harvest for some time. Ooh, there's lots of spider webs in here. I've been putting it off just because I haven't had time to address it. So we're gonna come in here. We're gonna remove all of the bigger outer stalks. And we'll continue to allow these plants to grow. They'll keep growing as long as we leave the center. So let's get in here a little bit. Worried about all these spider webs.
If you didn't know, the morning is the most ideal time to harvest your produce because overnight the plants get to rest and replenish, regain their moisture, which is going to aid in turning all their starches over to sugar. So you'll get a crunchier, juicier, sweeter crop. I try my best to get out in the morning, but sometimes it just has to wait until the evening, which is totally fine. But optimal flavor is going to be found in those morning pickings.
Big old basket of celery. It all looks really nice. The stalks are still nice and like water filled. Sometimes like if you have a drought or you haven't been watering very well, or if it's just super hot, they get hollow, really crunchy and lose some of their sweetness. They get a little bit bitter, but everything looks pretty good. So I got them at the right time. I took some of the centers, left some of the smaller outer stalks. I took some of the bigger outer stalks and left some of the smaller centers. So I'll at least get another harvest or two out of these. And I want to experiment again, maybe cover these over the winter because I had a few in previous years over winter for me and they just kept growing new stalks. So that's awesome. So I'm going to get these inside and out of the heat. Next up, I found some okra. I'm gonna snip these off. I might have waited a bit long, although they still feel pretty tender. So that's good. If you wait too long, you don't want to pick them like super big. Usually like 3 inches, maybe 4 inches, just depends on the variety. But I usually stick right around 3 inches personally. This variety is called Candlefire. This one I did not start from seed. I have 2 of these. I got them from a local greenhouse because bugs kept eating my seedlings. But they're really beautiful. I'll just grab that one since it's there. I'll get everything. Oh no, there's one more. Okay, I don't believe there's anything else that is ready just yet. Okay, a little okra harvest. All right, on to some beans here. I have 12 plants in here. I've got, they're either Jade or Contender. I honestly forget which variety I chose this year. So I've got those. I have Yellow Wax, I have Dragon Tongue, and I believe it's called Royal Burgundy. And I planted these, I direct sowed them, I want to say like beginning of May, right around when my last frost date was. It was May the 8th. And for anybody who doesn't know, I'm in Pennsylvania, it's zone 6B. Our growing season's around 160 days. And these have been in the ground now for about 60 days and they're already giving me tons and tons of beans. This is one plant here and there's lots left to be gotten from it. Weeding as I go. This is just from one plant, like quite a bit of beans. Here's the Royal Burgundy. Beautiful color. They do lose this color when you cook them, which is kind of fun for the kids to see them change from purple to green. I like to freeze dry them. They keep their color and they make a good snack if you like make some homemade ranch powdered seasoning blend, sprinkle it on them. It's kind of like those veggie straws, a healthier version of veggie straws. If you're wondering what I'm going to be doing with everything we're harvesting today, make sure you go ahead and subscribe, because in the next video we are going to be putting all this stuff up, preserving it in a whole bunch of different ways. And then here is the dragon tongue bush bean. Really pretty. Again, these will lose their color when you cook them. These turn more of like a yellow when cooked. And honestly, I like all of them, but their flavor does change just ever so slightly. It's not like a huge difference, but I really think my favorite are the Royal Burgundy. They're very sweet. Oh my, I let some of these go a bit too long, but that's okay. I like to harvest them when they're a bit smaller, a bit more tender. Whoops. And then here, just some yellow wax. The coloring on that one, isn't that stunning? Really beautiful. All right. Yes, hello rooster. We've got this nice big old basket here of beans. Like I said, this is from 12 plants, but 3 of them are not quite producing just yet. They've got flowers but no beans on them because I had something come through and eat those, and then I resowed those. I forgot about that. So this is from 9 plants. Not too shabby. On to the cucumbers. It's been a few days since I've been out here, just because of the weather. And there's probably quite a few bigger ones on here. I like to get them when they're a bit smaller than that, but I mean, they're still edible. And oh, here's a really big one. I have so many of these in my fridge. I have to rethink planting cucumbers next year. Maybe this year I'll just do enough for 2 years. For the pickles, maybe we'll do some relish. I don't know. We don't need a ton of relish, but maybe I could give it away. Maybe a bunch of these cucumbers are gonna come with me to church tomorrow. 2 more. Oh, this is an oopsie. This one's probably gonna go to the chickens. What else did I miss? Oh, here's a whole bunch over here. All right, did I get them all from this side? We've got another side to do yet. It is truly a jungle in here now. It's hard to get through the walkways. Oh, okay. One. I'm finding cucumber beetles, so these might not last a whole lot longer, which is honestly totally fine with me. I have plenty of cucumbers to last us a year. I'm not gonna stress over it. Oh my, there's a really big one. That's definitely going to the chickens. It's all yellow. Okay, there's the cucumber harvest. A couple of those are gonna go to the chickens. Let's see, what does the zucchini plant have to offer? I see at least 3, maybe 4. One. Two. 3. Let's see here. There's 2 more baby ones. We'll let them go another day. We're gonna move on to harvesting some kale. I have some blue scotch curled kale and some lacinato kale. I have, well, I think I have 6 of these and 5. Maybe I have 6 of those too. I forget. One of these varieties died. I just can't really tell how many there are anymore because they're so big. A word though, quickly on cucumbers and zucchini, trying to provide some background here, just in case you're new to gardening. I have 2 cucumber plants and they've been producing now for about 2 weeks. I have probably close to 40 pounds of cucumbers between what I harvested today and what I've been harvesting this past week that is in my fridge. So you do not need a whole lot of cucumber plants. They're really prolific. I learned that one the hard way. My first year, I think I had 6 plants because I didn't know. To say I was swimming in cucumbers is an understatement. And with the zucchini is honestly done the same way. It's a very prolific plant, heavy producer. I have 1 plant, and so far I think I have at least 22 zucchinis off of the 1 plant. So just in case you're new to gardening, there's a bit of information for you on how much those will produce. The kale here, honestly, between 10 and 12 kale plants total is plenty for us for the year. How I usually use this is in soups, sometimes in salads, fresh this time of year, and sometimes I'll freeze it for smoothies over the fall and the winter. I usually just freeze dry this for all of my soup needs. That one's really eaten up. I haven't had too much issue with bugs, mainly just cabbage worms on these this year. However, I mentioned it before, I think maybe the lacinato kale has been an unintentional trap crop for the cabbage worms, which I'm not like super mad about. I actually prefer this kind. That's my first time growing lacinato kale. I just wanted to try something new. I like to do that every once in a while, but I know we like this variety, the blue scotch, and it produces well for me here. And the nice thing about the lacinato kale being a trap crop is they're not going after my cabbages too badly right behind me, so I'll take it. So when I harvest kale, I just do the cut and come again method. I take all of the bigger outer leaves, leaving the center to continue growing. These are pretty hardy. They'll keep growing the entire season. You could even overwinter them. They can handle frost, snow. It actually gets sweeter when they experience that. The only thing is if you are growing them during the hotter months, sometimes they can develop a bit of a bitter flavor, but nothing that I find like inedible. It's just not as sweet. These are all looking really healthy. I'm so pleased with that. And anytime there's something that isn't healthy, it just goes straight to the chickens and they love it. So I don't consider really anything a waste when you have chickens because it just becomes supplemental feed for them. Big old basket of kale. Can't even see the handle anymore. So this is probably like the last bigger crop I'm gonna harvest. We're gonna do a whole bunch of herbs. I do have to grab all of my berries. There's a couple blueberries left, a whole bunch of raspberries, some blackberries. We're gonna do herbs all throughout, some medicinal, some culinary. I have a whole bunch of root veggies that need to be harvested. I'm thinking I'm gonna make that into a separate video. We'll harvest some carrots. I have beets to harvest. We have tons of potatoes that are ready. All that needs to be done, but I always remind myself, don't overwhelm yourself, Kelsey. There's only so much you can preserve at one time. Some things will be okay in the garden for a little while longer. We also have an entire bed of shallots that I need to harvest. But I think all that's gonna come in another video. I've got enough to handle right now.
On to picking some berries. We're gonna work with the raspberries here. For some background, I have two 20-foot rows. This is one of them of raspberries, and I have a 4x8 bed. When I started with raspberries, I had 24 canes total. They have multiplied exponentially over the years. They are very invasive, so be aware of that if you are interested in growing raspberries. Plant them somewhere where you can control them, where you could maybe till alongside them. I wish I would have done that because, believe me, I am constantly plucking out raspberry shoots all over the place. So I have all fall bearing or ever bearing raspberry varieties. I can only speak to those varieties. I don't have any summer bearing varieties. So with the fall bearing, I don't always cut mine back all the way to the ground. If you do that, you cut them back all the way to the ground, you will most likely only get the fall harvest, which is going to be like late August, early September. I sometimes will allow one of my rows like I did here. I don't trim them, prune them, cut them back at all. I let them go, and then off of the newer canes from the previous season, I am getting an early summer crop. That's what I am picking right now. There's a bunch of different ways you can prune your raspberries. This is just what works for me. I have 4 different varieties, which I'll show to you here.
This one up top here is Purple Royalty. Honestly, a new favorite, super sweet. They get this really dark purple color. Absolutely delicious. So I originally got 2 of these canes. This is where I'm honestly picking the majority of the berries, is just this Purple Royalty. Also in this row I have some Joan Jay. They're a thornless variety. Let's wait for the truck. They're thornless, super big berries, really sweet as well. We enjoy those. And then those I think I have, that's like majority of the raspberry canes I have. And then I have 2 other varieties. I have Anne, which is a gold one, and I have Double Gold, which is more of like a salmon color. Both still really good. And I had 4 of each of those when I started my berries. Just a handful of the Double Gold. These are like the salmon kind of colored ones, and then I have 1 of the Anne here, just one, and it's a little bit underripe. They're usually a bit more yellow than that. Just a handful of blueberries. We do have 11 blueberry bushes. However, they're all of different maturity. Some are on their 3rd year. Those are the ones that are producing some berries. Others are on their 2nd. So hopefully next year we get an even better harvest. I'm gonna say we've gotten a couple pints so far. All right, let's grab some herbs now. I'm gonna get inside soon. It is just unbearably humid out here. This is lemon balm. You can harvest from this throughout the entire season. It just keeps on growing. Lemon balm is also pretty invasive, so I have it in a pot here. It's in the mint family. All of the mints are invasive. Over here, this is banana mint. It really does smell like a mixture of banana and mint. So interesting. And then in here, got pineapple sage. Most all of this stuff here I use for teas. Some of them I'll make extracts out of, or like a simple syrup to flavor things. I don't see any passion flowers right now that are open, so, oh, I do, hold on. See this thing? Isn't it beautiful? It is so alien-like. Here we've got some mojito mint. Not looking the healthiest. I need to move it out of this location. Also have some orange mint here. For here we got some lavender, a bit more open than I'd usually harvest it, but still gonna grab it. I know you're looking for bugs. For here we're gonna grab some holy basil. Makes a wonderful basil tea. It's adaptogenic. So I think helps with stress, helps you adapt. Over here, I have some Genovese basil. In this section, I have marjoram and some rosemary. I love the smell of marjoram. It reminds me of perfume. It is So good. I use this in my Italian seasoning blend. Grab some rosemary. I love the smell of rosemary too. Look at all this rosemary from 2 plants. I think I have 7 or 8. This in the store alone would cost you a fortune. Grow yourself some herbs. This here is oregano. This has all turned into a jungle, but I've got toothache plant down in here. One of you had mentioned to me something I didn't even think about doing, but this, the reason it's called toothache plant, it has numbing properties in it. One of you said about making like a throat gargle for sore throats. That's a really good idea. I think I'm gonna do that. Also in this jungle, oh, there's some Japanese beetles. Fantastic. You can hear it or see them. There's a ton of bumblebees in here. This is cinnamon basil. Sorry guys, I'm gonna take some of this. I love this for like a cold tea during the summer. It flowers very early. It's just how it is. It's not like with Genovese basil. If that flowers, it turns a bit bitter. This, the flavor is not affected. Grabbed a bundle of thyme. This is growing underneath the zucchini plant. Found a big, beautiful strawberry in the cottage garden, which is currently going bonkers with the calendula. I did not plant any of these calendula. These are all just self-seeded from last year's crop, the ones I did plant. Once you plant calendula, you never have to actually start the seeds again. I'm actually probably gonna come through this space and take some of the calendula out, because honestly, they're starting to choke out some of my expensive plants. So I'm gonna harvest a bunch of calendula, and then most of them are probably gonna get pulled here very soon. The chamomile, for the most part, is done. There's a couple newer plants, ones that had started later, that are still okay, but honestly, I could pull some of these. And I've got lady's mantle under here that is being completely shaded out. So in this alone, this is a lot of herbs. This says I'm rich right here. There's so many herbs in here. Now I have to go in and lay them out and try and figure out what goes with what. So we got this to take in, and got a couple calendula, just a little tiny handful of chamomile up top there. And I did just notice behind me there's a couple cherry tomatoes I'm gonna grab before we go in and see what we got today. I'm thanking Jesus for some air conditioning right now. It is a doozy outside. So let me show you what we got today. We got this big old basket of kale. I'm just gonna leave this here for now. In here though, all right, I'm gonna dump these. We got all of these beans. Everything's going into the sink here in a minute. Anyways, so I want to grab, I have okra on the bottom of this basket. Hold please. This pile of beans. We got this little handful of okra here. That in the front. Today, I got 3 zucchini, although you can probably see there's more on the table there. There's more over here, there's more in the fridge. So there's those 3 for today's harvest. And then we got this basket of cucumbers here. I need to take these 2 out to the chickens though. We'll give them a snack here in a moment. We got this beautiful little bowl of berries. I wanted to show you the difference between, let's see, where is one? Joan Jay and Caroline raspberries, both ever-bearing, both just a red raspberry. Big one is Joan Jay, the little one is Caroline. Caroline has more thorns on it than any of the raspberries I have. And Joan Jay is thornless. Joan Jay is definitely my pick. Both taste really good. It's just I had to choose it to go with the bigger berry and not getting all stuck up when I'm harvesting. We got this thing of herbs. Let me see if I can separate them out now. So we've got thyme that I'm dropping. We've got some rosemary there. A couple more lavender from the cottage garden in the back. And then we've got this big bundle of the cinnamon basil. Put that back here. This here, yes, all of this oregano. This here, marjoram. Genovese basil, Spilanthes, or the toothache plant. A bouquet of holy basil. 1 lone passion flower. Orange mint. Mojito mint. Lemon balm. Pineapple sage. And a nice little pile of banana mint. Just a couple more things. Got some sun gold cherry tomatoes, just a little handful. We've got some calendula here and a little handful of chamomile. Last thing, celery. Whole lot of it. It doesn't really want to, oh, maybe it'll stand on its own. So this is what I'm working with early July. It's July 6th. I have been harvesting off of some of these things for a few weeks now. The raspberries, all the berries, the cucumbers and zucchini for about the last 2 weeks. They've been coming in pretty heavy. The kale I've harvested 3 times now. All of the herbs at least 3 times, if not 4 times. The beans obviously were a first time harvest today, as well as the celery and the okra, but they will continue throughout the season. Tomatoes are starting to trickle in, mainly just the cherry tomatoes. In the next few weeks, we'll have some slicers and some paste tomatoes coming in. The peppers are getting ready. We're gonna be harvesting all of the root crops soon. It's getting off to a good start here for the 2024 growing season. Make sure you are subscribed. Tune in on Friday. We're gonna be preserving these things. We're going to be canning. We'll be freeze drying and freezing. I'll be baking with some of it. So a wide variety of things going on here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this harvest. Let me know if you do have any questions. I'd be happy to help you out in the comment section. Otherwise, you have a wonderful day. Be blessed, and I will see you next time. Take care.